to the Blind Press YouTube channel and Coffee Stream episode 464. It is Monday and it is not too bad today. It's at least sunny. It's at least sunny. It's getting colder, which I hate, but it's at least fucking sunny. Okay. I hope you guys had a good weekend. I do apologize that I did so much canceling of things last week. Things were just insane. Between Thursday evening, the 4-year-old left a completed puzzle on our living room floor, and we have hardwood and tile. We don't have any carpet. So my one foot, stepped on the puzzle. The other foot was on the hardwood. The puzzle skidded out from underneath me. I fell really fucking hard, threw out my back. Then the next morning, between the 4-year-old being tired, and I think honestly he probably felt a little bad. He just wanted to stay home with me. So that's why there was no coffee stream on Friday. And then Saturday, Pincalo got a last minute call around 1 o'clock that he needed to go do a delivery, and it was a 3-hour drive one way. So I wasn't going to be able to kid wrangle and run a stream successfully, even if I had a panel. So that's why there was no Star Trek stream on Saturday. So I do apologize. That's why there was the stream there was last night. How did you like that video I sent you, says Blind Ryan. She's very, I actually have heard her speak before. I like her stuff, and those comments, I haven't gotten through all the comments because there's 800 of them. But the ones that I did see, were pretty shitty. Pretty damn shitty, if you ask me. And I guarantee you the people leaving them, I think I saw 2 from people saying they were blind. But the rest of them were sighted people. And they were being pretty goddamn crappy to a blind person. Just, and she wasn't even saying that Molly Burke, she just said Molly didn't represent her as a blind person. Ugh. Yeah, 870 of them. Jesus Christ Almighty. Yeah. Yeah. I feel really bad for her, especially because she specifically was like, I don't want drama. I'm trying to say my opinion. And the masses descended on her. It was pretty sad. Well, hello, Wikipedia snippet. I hope you're having a good Monday. It is a balmy 6 or 7 degrees Celsius out here, which I believe is around the high 30s, low 40s mark for you guys. It's at least sunny. Yeah, see, I'll be crappy to a blind person if the blind person is crappy. Disability means nothing to me. Exactly, Ryan. Exactly. If they're just a shitty person, right? Blind or not, then they don't really deserve your kindness, right? Just because someone's disabled doesn't automatically make them saintly. You know what I mean? That's a really common thing where people think that oh, you're disabled, so you must be this kind, almost vulnerable, weak person, and that's just not the case. So we're gonna catch up on some stories. I have a couple from Gunfox, and then I have Pink Hollow sent me a bunch. So I'm going to start with the Gun Fox stories first, since he did send in that generous donation on Friday morning. And then we'll go into the stuff that I was supposed to read on Friday. It's still relevant today, so that's good. There was one comment I liked about how, yeah, Molly's videos have kind of gone downhill now that you mentioned it. Yeah. One look at me disproves the weak blind person unless I need to use it to navigate a bullshit situation. Yeah. Partly cloudy, 59 degrees Fahrenheit, 15 degrees Celsius. Oh, you're lucky. You're lucky, sir. I wish it was 15 degrees Celsius. All right. So Gunfox sent me a couple of a bunch of stories. He's been trying to send a bit more from different things. Like he's got me sent me a couple of Canadian stories that I grabbed. So we're gonna take a quick look. Alrighty, let's get to that share button. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to get my mom to watch the kids because we need to go to the mall to finance the. We need to go to the Apple store in the mall to actually do the financing because I'm not able to set it up online, which is kind of bullshit. Because my bank is not listed as one of the ones on the online payment thing, but when I spoke to my bank, they found out that people that bank with them do actually have payment contracts with Apple through this payment processor. So we have to physically go to the Apple store and finance the computer. So I'm going to need my mom to look after the kids so that we can focus on filling out the paperwork and paying for it and not wrangling the kids and keeping them from destroying Apple products. Okay, here we go. So Pope Francis to visit Canada for Indigenous reconciliation. Why? So he can pass the buck back to the government? That's what he's been doing. Pope Francis has agreed to visit Canada to assist with ongoing reconciliation efforts with Indigenous groups, the Vatican said on Wednesday. The trip followed disturbing revelations this spring about the Indigenous children who died while attending residential schools. Yeah, way to gloss over the fact that they're still finding bodies. We're up to 7,000 and change dead kids. Okay? What the like, wow. Way to gloss over that. We found, okay, in the spring, it was 215 discovered in one mass grave. Okay? They haven't even gotten to all the schools across the country yet. And it's not even it was first discovered, I think, in April. So May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 7 months. It's the 7th month. And we're at 7,000 and change dead kids. And it's taken the Pope this long to get here. Hello, Costin. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. The Catholic Church was essential in the school founding and operation. Absolutely true. The date of the papal visit has not yet been announced. So he's not even officially like on his way. He's just like, yeah, I'm gonna get there eventually. Don't worry. I promise. It's real important. I'll be there. I swear. You know what this is like? This is like the sometimes deadbeat, the sometimes father, right? Who fucks off for years, right? Causes insane amounts of damage. And then he calls up one day and he goes, "Hey, um, I really miss you. I think I'll come by. I'm not sure when. Don't worry though. I promise I will come see you. And we're gonna have a great time. It's gonna be great. I swear. I mean it this time." That's what this is. That's exactly what this is. It's kind of disgusting. Um. Okay. The Pope has not issued a formal apology for the Church's role, despite repeated calls from Canadians. Yeah, he's too busy going, no, 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 the government asked us. The government asked us for help. It's the government's fault. In a short statement, the Vatican said that the Canadian Conference of Catholic Bishops had invited the Pope to make an apostolic trip to Canada, quote, also in the context of the long-standing pastoral process of reconciliation with Indigenous peoples. His quote, His Holiness has indicated his willingness to visit the country on a date to be determined or to be settled in due course, the statement said. He would be willing. Oh, that's very how generous. How generous of you. Hello, Selected Boy. This is definitely, I think my deadbeat dad analogy really, really fits. Um, wow. Okay. The pontiff had already invited an indigenous delegation from Canada to the Vatican's three groups, First Nations, Métis, and Inuit, will meet with him between the 17th and 20th of December. Yeah, definitely a deadbeat dad. Oh no! You come to me. Come to me. Come to my place. It'll be great. Um, I may have to step out for a few hours though. Uh, you'll be fine on your own, right? Oh my god. This is just wow. Just wow. That's I'm slightly speechless here. Um okay. In a statement on Wednesday, Toronto Cardinal Thomas Collins said he hoped that the meeting would allow the Pope to, quote, hear directly from those who have suffered. In Canada, support for reconciliation, repairing the relationships between Indigenous people, non-Indigenous people, and the government is at a recent high. Well, yeah, because we need to stop living in the past. Everybody needs to stop living in the past. We need to acknowledge that really, really, really shitty things happened, including very recently. And we need to figure out how to stop them from happening and and figure out a way to allow the Indigenous people to not only be part of the country, but also have some agency for themselves, right? Because the government really did take away their agency, and that is something that we need to fix. We need to Part of reconciliation, in my opinion, should be setting up a pattern and system where this group of people, the indigenous people, have not only reconciled and are able to move forward and heal, but are also given agency so that they can take responsibility for themselves, right? Like, and I'm not saying that, what happened to them is their fault. What I'm saying is how they move forward is on them, right? And it's on us to make sure that they have the tools to move forward. The support comes after a series of unmarked burial sites were discovered in Western Canada over the spring and summer, and in Ontario, and in New Brunswick, and, oh my god, most believed to belong to former students of residential schools. Why are you glossing over this? Holy shit. Do some basic fucking research. Fuck, man. That's insane. Just the glossing over at this. Agreed, Blind Press. Well, thank you, Selective Boy. Let's see here. Between May and July, more than 1,100 burial sites were found. Some of the remains were believed to be of children as young as 3. Yeah, and now, as of the publishing date of this article, we are past 7,000. Why are you not saying that? This is the problem. We talk about reconciliation. We talk about all this shit. But then when news articles like this are written, they go with the numbers from 6 months ago, not now. Assembly of First Nations Chief Roseanne Archibald wrote on Twitter that she would welcome the Pope to Canada, quote, to issue a long overdue apology and called for reparations. Okay, no. I'm sorry. No, reparations is not what you guys need. Because reparations, if you're talking about financial reparations, that's not what you guys do not need to have money thrown at you. What you need is community-wide trauma-specific therapy. You guys need clean drinking water. You guys need proper and consistent access to employment. Proper and consistent access to good housing that you could not only rent but purchase. You guys need... Reparations are never long-term. Exactly. No, no, reparations are not the answer. Absolutely acknowledgement of what happened, acknowledgement that things that shouldn't have been happening were happening incredibly recently. And when I say incredibly recently, I mean it took the federal government until 2018 to make it illegal for hospitals to force Native women to be sterilized. And when I say force, I mean like tell the woman that they need a C-section, even if they don't, get the C-section, and then go, oh, well, while I'm here, you've had your child already. You've already got kids, so I'm just gonna perform a hysterectomy while I'm here. I'm not shitting you guys. That is a thing that was happening until the federal government stepped in and actually had to say, no, that's illegal 3 fucking years ago. So yeah, there's some nasty shit that has been going on here very fucking recently. And it needs to be talked about and it needs to be acknowledged. But just handing reparations to people is not going to fix the problem. It will make you feel better in the short term. But it will not help you deal with the trauma. It will not help you heal. It's a band-aid solution. Quote, I continue to ask that the Catholic Church be accountable for their role in the forced assimilation and genocide of our children, families, and nations. Okay, but you guys are still here. They must be criminally charged, she said. How are you going to criminally charge? Okay, now you've lost me. Now you've lost me. How are you going to criminally charge an international organization for something that happened in one country? How? Also, I don't know. Anyway, Jagmeet Singh, oh boy, leader of the New Democratic Party, has said that the church should not only apologize for its role in the school system, but also offer compensation to survivors and release school records. Release school records, yes, absolutely. Compensation, again, band-aid solution, not going to fix the problem. Not going to fix the problem. An apology is not good enough, he told CBC News. The Landmark Truth and Reconciliation Commission report released in 2015 detailed sweeping failures in the care and safety of these children and complicity by the church and government. Yep. Government, church, and school officials were well aware of these failures and their impacts on students' health, the authors wrote. If the question is who knew what went on, the clear answer is everyone in authority at any point in the system's history. Yeah. Among the TRC's 94 recommendations is a formal apology from the Catholic Church to survivors and their families. Yeah. The apology and the releasing of the records, absolutely. But financial compensation is a band-aid. It's not going to help. So what does this author want exactly? I don't know. I really don't know, Selective Boy. And here we have our next article from Mr. Gunfox. It is from the CBC. And we're going to and it's basically an outsider's perspective on Biden's approval ratings. Come on. There we go. All right. Why are you not where you need to be? There we go. That was annoying. All right, share screen. All right. I'm still giggling from that Joe Biden video I found. Like the old computer once said. When you're on the train and they call for a portal bridge, it's time for a new plan. Biden seeks cure for a bad case of the presidential blahs. Yeah, the midterms are going to be bad. Joe Biden has a virulent strain of a condition endemic to the American president. He's got a bad case of the first year blahs. And he's counting on a massive budget bill to cure what ails him. Yeah, that's not gonna go over very well, I don't think. I I really don't see that going over as well as he hopes it will. Democrats are getting closer to legislative wins that would advance some priorities he campaigned on, touching climate tax, health infrastructure, and child policies. Child sniffing policies, maybe. Um, it's far from certain that even if his two signature bills pass, it will save the party in midterms, congressional elections. A year from now, it probably won't. Biden's approval rating is now the second lowest of any president since the post-Watergate era at this stage of his first term. Oh, wow. That's significant. That's bad. That is really bad. Oh man. That is wow. Well, it's not uncommon for a president to see his approval slide in year one. This skid is steeper than most. I would say so. If it's the second lowest since post Watergate, like, holy shit. Among the last 8 presidents, only one president had a lower approval rating in late October of his first year than Biden. Current average of 42%. So his approval rating is now 42%, and there's only one president in the last 8 that has had an approval rating lower than him at this stage. Let's see who it is. Donald Trump. Outperforming Trump is no longer a given either. One pollster, Quinnipiac, actually has Trump's current approval rating 1 point higher than Biden's. Biden's numbers have slid so fast. He's by some measures about as unpopular as his predecessor Donald Trump left. So yeah, that was a picture. Numbers like these are why poll analysts view Republicans as the clear favorite to regain control of Congress next year. Yeah, this is going to be, if things keep going the way they're going, the polls are just, this is, wow, this is bad. Quote, it looks very, very bad right now for Democrats, said Cameron Easley, senior editor at the polling and data intelligence firm Morning Consult. If things don't get much better, the question will go from whether it'll be bad to how bad it's going to get. Yeah. So this says, what's at stake in Congress? To retain control of Congress, Easley said, as a general rule of thumb, the president needs an approval rating in the low 50s, around 52 or 53 percent, well ahead of Biden's current rating. Yeah, that's like 9 or 10 points. The stakes of next year's vote are considerable. Victory would give Republicans not only the power to block Biden's legislation and potentially his judicial nominees, but also control of congressional committees, which would allow them to launch investigations against the president and cancel efforts such as the inquiry into the January 6th attack on the Capitol. I don't think Republicans are going to squash that inquiry. I just think that maybe they will try to curb the hyperbole surrounding it. Most popular president, eh? Oh yeah, for sure. Super popular. So what's happened with Biden's ratings? Overall approval for President Biden. Oh, VoiceOver is not going to be able to interpret that chart. His approval rate has dropped about a dozen percentage points from his inauguration in an average of polls. So, a dozen percentage points. That would put him at 54% when he was inaugurated. He's now 42%. That is bad. Holy crap. From different firms. He's bleeding support virtually everywhere with different voters, for voters of different ages, races, ideologies, income groups, and geographic regions. But some of his biggest losses have been among certain income and demographic groups. The biggest deflection, working class voters. I'm shocked, I tell you. Biden has lost the most with voters who have the least. I'm shocked. The steepest plunge in support is among those making under $50,000 US a year, while support has been steady among those earning over $100,000. Again, shocked. Shocked, I say. Not. Okay. Morning Consult shares Biden's approval down 18 points among those in that lower income bracket from 61%, in January to 43% now. Just think about that. Just think about that for a second. 61% of working class voters liked the man 8 months ago. And now it's 43%. It's almost like we knew this would happen. Oh, but we were all conspiracy theorists, remember? Did you hear that Biden poops his pants constantly and explosively? Well, it's funny you say that, Turk, because in the CNN town hall that he did with Anderson Cooper, Pincalo told me that he looked like, in the entire interview, he looks like he has to poop. And he's standing there with like this, his fists like this, like he's holding ski poles, and he's just standing there. It's like, and he looks like he's trying not to shit his pants. It's almost as bad as what comes out of his mouth. Yeah, it is. So let's get to the next stories. But yeah, that is some bad approval tanks. Wow. That's crazy. Crazy, I tell you. Oh, excuse me. Come on, computer, move faster. Jesus Christ. I cannot wait till I have a new computer. Back. Back, I say. Ugh. What the... I'm just gonna close that and reopen it. Because it's being a dick. Okay. Here we go. Here we go. Okay. Please behave now. Messages, yes. Thank you. Go faster. What? Sorry about this, guys. It's taking forever. There we go. Holy crap. That was painful in its exceeding slowness. Okay. I had to poop once in the middle of Waterloo Park. They have fucking... They have porta potties there, dude. Oh my god. Okay. What's the first one? Oh, this is funny. This is funny. This is a good one. You guys will enjoy this. Stop yawning, press. Holy shit. The bathroom was closed. How do they close the bathrooms? That's stupid. God, this city is dumb sometimes. Let's close the outdoor bathrooms. Let's install a light rail system in a city that's not designed to have one. Let's put roundabouts every single fucking... Oh my god. I swear this city gets paid to install roundabouts. They have a quota, I swear. Oh, we haven't met our roundabout quota for the year. Quickly, install more. Yes, that one. I pooped in a field and I have no regrets. Okay. So, CBC is keeping Facebook comments closed on news posts. Because they're a bunch of cowards. We hope to make online spaces safer by minimizing harassment and abuse of our story subjects. Our story subjects. We don't want our story subjects to be abused. Because, you know, journalists apparently don't know how to keep their sources private. Reminded me of San Francisco. Yep. Clipped? Clipped what? Let's see here. Earlier this week, veteran CBC News journalist and host Carol McNeil signed off after a 34-year career with the public broadcaster. In her closing remarks, which you can watch below, McNeil thanked her audience and reminded the rest of us what the public expects from journalists: precision, competency, straightforward questions, context. You like it when someone is challenged but not shamed or embarrassed, McNeil said of the audience. You don't want us to cower in the face of pressure. You want us to work with no fear and no favoritism. Or with no fear and no favor. No, I read your message. And the clip will show the chat replay unless you edit it out. So if you do that, then you will be doctoring video stuff, and yeah, that would just be ridiculous. um You do know that chat replay is... I have chat replay turned on my stuff, right? So when you clip it, unless you purposely edit the chat out, you'll see that I'm reading messages. Oh, you should think your trolls through a little more before you embark on them. You are terrible. I know you are. I'm just razzing you. Where are we here? Oi, computer, catch up. Oh, you piece of garbage. Let's go. Come on. Come on. Holy Jesus. Okay, there we go. Some of these same concerns were behind our decision in June, to close comments on our CBC branded Facebook pages in news, current affairs, and local as part of an experiment we did. We did so because we were seeing an inordinate amount of hate, abuse, misogyny, and threats in the comments under our stories. Our story subjects were attacked. Other commenters were attacked. Our journalists were attacked. And misinformation and disinformation were rife. So be journalists and refute and disprove the misinformation and disinformation. Don't be bitches and hide behind a closed comments section. Computer needs ketchup. Computer needs to be dipped in ketchup is what it needs. As a result of this toxicity, we were posting fewer of our stories and videos to Facebook, knowing our story subjects would be facing certain abuse and particular communities would be targeted when we did share stories to Facebook. We spent a huge amount of time and effort cleaning up the sludge. Oh. Oh. The pain, the horror. Maybe if you guys didn't jump the gun and publish crap that is verifiably crap, people wouldn't have to do your jobs for you in the comments section. People wouldn't have to get frustrated with you. Lord Jesus, what bunch of punks. Yeah. Yeah. It's ridiculous. Just this it's because of you. It's not the you know, the disinformation that we're publishing. It's all you guys. Editor's note. Where are we here? Why did it put me all the way back up here? Okay. To be clear, we aren't interested in curtailing genuine criticisms of our journalism, which we welcome. You can find plenty of it in the comments section on the stories on our news site, which are closely moderated. We're talking instead about trying to stop in the online places where we have some control, at least, the vile abuse, personal harassment, and misinformation that's so damaging to public discourse. No. Do you know what's damaging to public discourse? Silencing it. Even the things you don't like. You'll notice that, and I'll use this as an example. You'll notice that on my videos about Molly Burke, where people disagree with me, I don't delete those comments. You'll notice that in my TikTok videos, when I get idiot anti-vaxxers telling me I'm lying about how I went blind, or that I'm the one who's spreading misinformation about how good vaccines are. You notice that I don't delete those comments, right? Because as stupid as they are, people have a right to say them. And I have a right to laugh at them and refute them. But CBC, who used to be a very good source for, like, the Fifth Estate is a CBC program. The Fifth Estate is decades old. The Fifth Estate was a radio program. Okay? Like, the CBC used to actually do some really good work. And maybe CBC, if you had stopped to think about the fact that you actually used to do actual journalism and now you don't, that might possibly be one of the main reasons you're getting such vitriol in your comments. Because people in Canada are upset that you do not do actual journalism anymore. And guess what? We fucking pay for your outlet. You are a publicly funded, you get government money. And we pay that money. So, yeah, we have kind of a right to go, what the fuck is this crap that you're spewing? CBC. Just maybe some food for thought that you should take into consideration. Comments on website will remain. The experiment has been a positive one. We are now posting more diverse stories than ever. Because, CBC has been known for not being a publisher of diverse stories. I remember being a kid and watching incredibly diverse programming on the CBC. CBC Radio has some of the most incredibly diverse selections of programming in Canada. And now you're like, oh, look how diverse we're being all of a sudden, guys. Because we've stopped allowing you to comment mean things on our Facebook page. Fuck off. Like, seriously, fuck all the way off, CBC. What happened? They used to be cool. What I have no idea what happened. But the CBC did used to be really cool. There used to be some great programming on the CBC. Like, there was historical programming during the day. We had, the CBC used to be where you could find, specifically Canadian content, like television shows and stuff like that. Like I said, current affairs programs that were hard hitting, like the Fifth Estate. Some of the most hard hitting interviews in journalism in Canada were done on the Fifth Estate. Hello there, Ghost Dog. The Fifth Estate, there's an interview with Karla Homolka that the Fifth Estate did. And it is incredibly well done. And it's incredibly disturbing to watch, but it is an incredibly well done interview. And in the last 20 years or so, CBC has just gone completely to shit. And the fact that they are saying that people calling them out on this is abuse and harassment is ridiculous. And we're posting more diverse stories than ever to Facebook. Who the fuck cares you're posting it to Facebook? We are no longer moderating a space with few controls. The impact our web traffic has been marginal. The well-being of our staff has improved according to an internal survey we conducted during the experiment. So your staff, journalists are supposed to be some of the thickest skinned people because of their very job. And the problem is that over the past 20 years, journalists from every media outlet, whether it be on the left or the right, are just the weakest skinned, weakest willed, cowardliest, most sniveling, whiny bunches of J school graduates I have ever seen. It's just disgusting. These people graduated journalism school and went out into the world and went, you mean I have to do more than just sit down and write inverted pyramids all day? You mean I don't just, journalism is actually hard and dangerous sometimes? What are you talking about? That's mean, that's harassment. You can't say that. Journalism was supposed to be safe. Fuck off. Oh my god, this is crazy. Fears we were limiting free speech were unfounded. No. We saw a surge of comments on our website during the federal election, for example. And our viewers, listeners, and readers are free to have their say in many other places, including their personal Facebook Wait. 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 Our viewers are free to say what they want in many other places, including their Facebook page. Well, CBC, thank you for giving me permission to voice my opinion on my own page. I really, I didn't know. I was really afraid to say what I thought about things on my personal pages until you graciously wrote in this article that we were free to speak about your topics on our own pages. Oh, whew, what a relief. I was really worried. Jesus Christ. The audacity. The audacity of the CBC to actually have written that down, gone through the editing process, and gone, yeah, that seems like an alright sentence. So you're allowed to comment on their site, on your own Facebook page, how very kind of them, on Twitter, or through their ombudsman service. But nowhere else. Wow. Wow. Oh boy. Oh my goodness. And I'm pretty sure here, let's do a test. Let's do a test. A little testy westy.
Home. Selected. Home. Line press. Back. Button. Back.
Let's do a bit of a test here. Search. CBC.
Portrait. Words. 8 minutes. CBC News. 2.8 million.
CBC News.
Where do tomato products really? Where do tomato? CBC News. 2.8 million. Where do tomato?
Let's see.
1.5. Canada and Germany call on help for poorer countries to COP26. Heading. Do governments. Individual. Canada and Germany call on help for poorer countries to fight climate change. CBC News. 8 minutes. 10 seconds.
This.
4K views. Middle dot 23 hours.
Okay, this video's from 23 hours ago. Let's see. Oh, they actually have their comments turned on their YouTube channel. That's actually shocking. I'm actually shocked that they have their comments turned on their YouTube channel. I am legitimately surprised that they still have their comments on their turned on their YouTube channel. That's a pleasant surprise, but I'm still surprised. And yes, I am on my way to. Oh, hey, honey. I just realized the time, and yes, I am on my way to Windsor. Oh, good. Good. So yeah, so apparently, you are permitted by the CBC to discuss the topics that they speak about on their website, their YouTube channel, Twitter, their ombudsman service, and graciously, of course, your own personal Facebook page. How very kind of them to allow us to discuss their stories on our own personal Facebook pages. That's very kind of you, CBC. Oh, great Christ. Wow. You're more than welcome to discuss this on your personal page. Oh, am I? How thank you, kind newspaper that is a public fucking thing. How very kind of you to tell me I can talk about things on my own page. Oh, God. That is priceless.
Live talk, live chat.
I can't believe that was actually written down
YouTube. Now.
and then
How MLMs took over the
past the editing process.
1 p.m.
On they're talking about free speech and how they're trying to say that, oh, we're not curtailing it at all. We're not, curating it at all. In an article where they're denying curtailment and curation of free speech, they have the balls to say you can post about it on your personal page. Wow. Okay.
1 p.m. 12:57.
Okay.
1 p.m. Streamlabs. Super cool.
Just okay.
Publicly assigned press. Ellipsis.
Oh boy. Okay.
To edit. Use the rotor to act.
Let's do one more story here. Here's one. Which one should I do here? There's a couple. Ooh, let's look at this one. Let's look at this story, because it's a cool science-y story. And since it's nearing the end of the show, and we usually end the show on a science-y story, let's do it. Okay.
1 p.m. Ghost Code 999. You have good overall BP Wilmore and Lawrence like 1984. Learn more. 1 p.m.
You have good...
You have good overall BP Wilmore and Lawrence like 1984.
Yeah,
Custom emoji.
you have a good overlord, BP. Yeah.
12.
We have a wonderful overlord. The CBC overlord and the government. Okay. To the share button. Share. All right.
Now, Shakespeare's the flip. I am chat. Ellipsis. Here and watch me zap as I play Gears with Jam from on sandwich.
Here we go. Okay.
1 p.m. Ghost Code 900. Custom emojis.
Voiceover, why are you calling it an emoji? It's called an emoji, not an emoji. This ruby is 2.5 billion years old and contains evidence of ancient life. That's pretty cool. Discovery by international team marks first time signs of life have been found in a colored gemstone. Really? That's cool. I didn't know that. And it's local researchers that discovered this. That's cool. Researchers from the University of Waterloo discovered carbon residue that was once ancient life encased in a 2.5 billion year old ruby while analyzing some of the world's oldest colored gemstones. That is so cool. A University of Waterloo researcher was part of a team that discovered residue that was once ancient life, encased in a 2.5 billion year old ruby. The first time evidence of life has been found in a gemstone. That is so cool. Chris Akimchuk was the main Canadian researcher on a team of international collaborators in the UK, Australia, and Denmark, who were tasked with helping the government of Greenland locate ruby deposits to mine. Okay. Chris Akimchuk was the main... hold on. While they were successful at locating the gemstones, the team also made a much bigger discovery. A sign of ancient life in a place no one had ever seen it before. That's so fucking cool.
Quest 1:03 p.m. Wikipedia snippet. Above half the
About half the age of the Earth. Yeah.
Turk February. My girlfriend is older.
It's...
Select a boy. Wow. 1 p.m.
This would predate Snowball Earth.
Text field.
Because Snowball Earth is hypothesized to have been from about 1 billion to about 600 million years ago. So this ruby not only predates Snowball Earth, it almost, because the moon is about 3 to 3.5 billion years old. So it's about 1 billion years younger than the formation of our moon. That is fucking cool. Just to give you guys some context. The moon was hypothesized to have formed about 3.5 billion years ago. We get 1 billion years further onto that, we get this ruby. We get about 1.5 billion years after that. We get the beginnings of Snowball Earth. We go through about 500 million years, 500 million years of that. Then we get the warming
I swear. My girlfriend Julie is still older.
of the Earth.
Then follow the driving aid. For the love of God, do not open the ruby. We have enough problems with that black slab. 1:03 p.m.
For the love of God, do not open the ruby. We have enough problems with that black slab.
6 p.m. Select and it's probably
Yeah.
Jack Ruby. Custom
Yeah, that's a good point.
live check 7.
That's a good point. We don't need to know what that life does.
1:06 p.m. Chat message.
And it's probably not Jack Ruby. Nice. So yeah, and then after the Snowball Earth, then we start getting the mass explosion of the aquatic life, the multicellular life in the water, the actual macroscopic life in the water, starting at about 500 million years ago. Because scientists have figured out that life, like the multi-organ, multi-part of a bot, like more than one part of, the life that we start to know as normal life is only about 500 million years old. Think about that. Before that, it was all bacteria. Before that, it was all cyanobacteria and shit like that. That is how young life that we know as life is
7 p.m. Turk
on our planet.
That's when my girlfriend first grew. 1:06
It's crazy.
1:08 p.m. Turk February. She's very, very, very old.
Your girlfriend is very, very, very old. We're doing all kinds of different analytical techniques looking at these rubies under the microscope, said Akimchuk, a professor of earth and environmental sciences at the University of Waterloo. And we've found something a little bit cooler. These little fragments of mineral graphite in these rubies left made over 2.5 billion years ago. That is so cool. Graphite is found in rocks made during a time on the planet when oxygen was not abundant in the atmosphere and life existed only in microorganisms and algae films, according to the university. Yeah, like I said, cyanobacteria, like microorganisms. No, the Snowball Earth, or honestly, sorry, the cyanobacteria were the introduction to oxygen in the atmosphere. Before the cyanobacteria, it was bacteria like these guys that created the graphite and stuff in the rocks. Hi, Jenna. In southern West Greenland, Researchers from University of Waterloo located some rubies that contain ancient signs of life. And then here's the picture. Yakimchuk says that over time, ancient critters and organisms buried into the earth have turned into today's gas and oil. And those buried deeper in the earth and closer to its core have turned into graphite, which is what the team is now investigating. That is so cool. That is so awesome. That is so awesome.
Hello at Jenna P. 1:10 p.m. Jenna P. Select your boy. 1:11 p.m. Turk February. My very, very, very old girlfriend. 1:11 p.m. Wikipedia snippet. The oxygen was very poisonous to some organisms.
Yeah, the oxygen was very poisonous to some organisms. And then when, I can't remember if it was before Snowball Earth or after Snowball Earth when the cyanobacteria really started to flourish and produce the oxygen. Ruby and Sapphire fall within the mineral corundum family of gems. Corundum gems have colors ranging from brown to deep red. Ruby, deep blue, sapphire, deep red, ruby, deep blue, sapphire, and purple, pink, sapphire, and purple and pink. Although the purple, pink ones found are not the deep red color typical of associated with ruby, Kimchik said. Some scientists call them ruby because they are part of the same mineral family. Okay. I've gotcha. The ruby has to be pulled out of the rock, polished and faceted before it starts to look like gemstones found in jewelry stores. Ah, that's pretty cool. But like to find life that predates the earth and atmosphere that we know of today is really cool. It's really cool. That is such an awesome story. I love those sciencey stories. They're always really cool. I've always been a science geek. All right. Well, my friends, I am really, 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 really hungry. So I'm going to go find some food before you can start to hear my stomach over the microphone. Because, yes, my Snowball is good enough that it will pick up my stomach growling. We don't need that. Thank you guys for watching. I do hope that you have a really good rest of your Monday and that you enjoyed watching. I always really love putting these on for you guys. And remember, coffee shots tomorrow premiering at noon and Thursday at noon. Also Twitch tomorrow afternoon and Thursday afternoon. Canadian Wednesday is this Wednesday. And this Saturday, Skep Talk will be back in town, so we'll be doing his topic of the science fiction crossovers on the Star Trek stream. And then next week, we're going to do the topic I was going to do this past Saturday, which is our favorite Mirror Universe iterations. So, all of that being said, I hope you guys enjoy yourselves. I hope you guys have a great time. It's amazing what with today's technology we're learning about the past. Exactly, Jenna. Thanks for the episode. No worries, Selected Boy. I hope you guys had a great night. Have a great day. Hope you guys keep safe And I'll see you guys back here on Wednesday. And I'll see you on Twitch tomorrow. Bye, guys. Oh, and if you're on TikTok, you'll see me later today. Bye, guys.